Yikes. So at the time of recording this video, we're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, and many of us are self-isolating because of this. And also many businesses are pivoting and adjusting to fit the current climate and kind of like the collective experience right now. So if you're a business wondering how you can pivot, this video is for you. Let's dive in. Hello, my name is Andrea Jones and I'm a social media strategist, and I create videos like this to help business owners like you understand and enjoy social media marketing. Now, in this video specifically, we're talking about pivoting, and if you're with me right now in the coronavirus scenario, I do have a free resource for you that'll help you navigate some of this. There are caption snippets that are plug and play, ready to go, so click the link below this video to check them out. Now let's talk about pivoting your messaging on social media, whether you are in the middle of coronavirus with us right now or you're just pivoting in general. One of the first things that you want to do is plan your pivot. And no, I'm not talking about exactly what you're pivoting, but I want you to plan the general tone and feeling that you want your audience to feel as you're making these changes. I think sometimes as business owners, we get scared and we don't want that fear to show up on social media for us. Instead, we want maybe a tone of welcoming or calming or just overall acceptance on this change. Maybe even get your audience excited about the changes to come. So really plan out how you want your people to feel as you're making these changes. Now, if you're speaking to a new audience, let's say you're pivoting from one niche to another, then you also want to make sure that your new niche understands what's to come and your old niche understands where you are coming from. So let's give an example. Let's say you're a yoga instructor and you're now changing it up and going to be teaching mindfulness meditation classes instead. You want to give your old audience an opportunity to understand that shift and why it's happening, as well as invite new audience members into the fold and to experience it with you. Again, focus in on that feeling so that your folks are just excited as you are about what's to come. Okay, next, now you want to plan a big post to share this out on social media. Now, when I say big post, I want you to make a big deal about it. And I think this definitely depends on the brand, but for most of us, we can afford to make a big deal about what we're doing. Again, this emphasizes the changes that are to come and really prepares your audience for the changes that are ahead. So as you're preparing for the post announcement, make sure to get people excited about what's to come. Now, if you're in the middle of what we're experiencing right now, which is the coronavirus pandemic, we didn't have a lot of time to prepare, but I still want you to consider doing a big post to explain what's happening so that people can understand what's to come. All right, let's talk about this big post idea just a little bit more. You want to be able to announce the change that's coming, and a great way to do this is through video. Now you can do a pre-recorded video like this one, or you can choose to do a live streamed video, but video I think is one of the most important ways to communicate your message if you have time to plan for it. If you don't have time, like a lot of us where we're dealing with coronavirus right now, going live on video is still a great way to showcase what you're doing. Now let's say you're watching this and you're like, Andrea, I'm never going to do video. That's okay. There are still ways you can make this experience interactive and bring your audience into the fold. The key here is to be dynamic with your content, and you can create dynamic content that's not video related. So for instance, you can use a GIF or an actionable item in your post. I love to use Canva for this. They have a whole area and section of the website where you can add movement into your posts, and it really creates a more dynamic experience for your audience. Again, I want to remind you here to be mindful of the tone that you're bringing to your social media posts, okay? The tone is very important. We want this to be calm, welcoming, and excited if it's a great change. If it's something that's not great, like businesses closing during the current pandemic, we want to have a tone of assurance, okay? So we want to be able to tell people that yes, this is happening, but we have it handled. We know exactly what we're doing, and we'll keep you updated along the way. Which brings me to my last point. Make sure you're keeping your people updated. You don't want to leave them hanging. And I think sometimes we assume that people see all of the posts that we post on social media, when in fact, statistically, only about 10% of our audience will see a post at any given time. 10%. So if you have 100 followers, only 10 people are going to see your post. So what does that mean? You have to keep talking about it. Now, I don't mean continue to post the same thing over and over again, but what I do mean is to continue to bring it up in relevant ways throughout your posts. Now, a great example of this is with the free resource that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, which is our caption snippets that are plug and play for this specific pandemic that we're going through right now. But you can take and adapt those and use them for anything. You can have little phrases that you add into your current posts to acknowledge the change in the pivot that you've already made. It's a really easy way to continue to remind people of what change has happened and to continue that tone of excitement or assurance as you're navigating through the rest of your posts. Thank you for joining me for this video today. If you enjoyed it, I invite you to consider subscribing to the channel. I release videos with social media tips and tricks like this, as well as tech reviews and vlogs and everything related to the world of social media and what I'm doing. I look forward to connecting with you soon. That's all for today. Bye for now.